offline mode, market research, and reverse outlining and more, AutoCrit is back with more updates for 2025, and we are going to look at these updates together today. I am so excited to have you here. My name is Katherine. I'm a USA Today best-selling fantasy author, editor, and book reviewer, and I have been using AutoCrit as a lifetime pro member since 2019. I have used it on over 10 books and have done multiple videos about it on my channel. So if you would like to see a full tour of AutoCrit, there's a video for that in my Indie Author Behind the Scenes playlist. Today, we're going to go over what's new in the system. Before we do that, I have a very quick disclaimer that yes, I do currently work on the AutoCrit editing team. But no, I am not being compensated for this video. I am not being paid to record or release it. I do not receive any compensation if you click the links in the description box or if you sign up for AutoCrit. This is solely an educational video, informational video from one writer to another. So with that, let's dive in. I'm going to start out here on the hub and say that I've really appreciated this year that the hub is updated almost every single day. There's new pep talks, new events, free writing sprints, blogs, all kinds of stuff. And at the very, very bottom of this page is a step-by-step guide on how to run AutoCrit's story analyzer to 100%. If you are new to AutoCrit, the tools we're going to be talking about today with the market research and the reverse outlining tool are in the AutoCrit story analyzer. And this step-by-step guide will walk you through how to get going in that tool specifically. So it's right there down on the magnifying glass box. We're going to open up our writer's desk on the left-hand toolbar. This is where a lot of these new features are living. And we're going to hop into a file to talk about offline mode. So AutoCrit is 100% web-based, which means that you can access your account from pretty much any device with a web browser. It's really, really handy. I've used voice-to-text dictation using the Google Chrome browser on my cell phone and then logged out and used AutoCrit on my computer at home. You could use it on a tablet. You could use it on a Chromebook because there's nothing to download. So it's just really nice on the go. Until this year, though, there has been no way to write offline in AutoCrit. Now that has changed. So if you open a file today, you should see this available offline box automatically checkmarked. What that means is that if your internet disconnects, you will still have your screen. You'll still be able to write in it. Just remember that you do have to reconnect to the internet to save. So if you want to use AutoCrit on the go, maybe you're going on a trip on an airplane, vacation, or business, and the words don't want to wait, then you can open your AutoCrit file, scroll down to wherever you want to type, click your mouse, and then make sure that you're available offline, and then take your device into airplane mode. You can write the whole flight. Remember to come off airplane mode to save, though, because if you close this page, you do potentially lose your work. So reconnect and then save. But this ability is huge. And while we're here, we're going to talk about one of the other new tools, which is the ability to share. Oh, I do have to go back online for that. Here, let me take care of that. So I'm going to go back offline or online. So here I have the ability to share my file with another AutoCrit Pro member. This is nice because it reduces the risk of having something happen when I email my file to someone else or needing to upload a file to somebody else. And it gives them an email notification that I've sent them the file to use for co-writing, for editing, for beta reading, all of that right here securely in the site with proof that it was mine first. So if you have beta readers or editors or co-writers or friends that also use AutoCrit with you, you can now share your file and you can take that file away. You can give people reading. So contact@katherinedgraham.com here. You can give them read or write access. They do have to be a pro member, though, in order to share the file. And then you can take them back off when you don't want them to access your file anymore. So we got offline mode. We have the ability to share now, which is super, super nifty. And we're going to talk about these two other new features that really blew me away for 2025. Those are both, as I said before, in the analysis tab. There's a fiction and nonfiction version of AutoCrit's analysis because our tools are designed for both fiction and nonfiction writers. I'm going to run the fiction one on here. Once you have run your analyzer to 100% with the steps on that hub dashboard post, you will unlock the new backwards blueprint tool. This was in my 2024 update review, but it has changed so much and is so much more powerful that I decided to refeature it here for a moment, and then I'll show you Market Fuel. This is a reverse outlining tool. Reverse outlining is where you read the book that you wrote and plug in information that you found about your characters, your plot lines, your world building details. Essentially, you're trying to see what you actually ended up writing so that you could compare it to what you meant to write and correct things in your developmental editing process. If you're a pantser like me, this is also where you get a first glimpse at what did you end up writing. I affectionately call my first drafts my garbage drafts. So this is where you're going to be able to come run this in just a minute and get an idea of what you ended up with. So you can run a premise through here. You can run information about characters through here, like who does it think the main protagonist is and why? What is this person's wants, needs, fears, physical appeal, physical description, reader appeal, antagonist, same thing. And then down at the bottom is our outline or beat sheet section. And it's got character-centered beat sheets, plot-centered beat sheets, romance, mystery, horror, and short story. If you have not used AutoCrit before, I'm going to go ahead and set your mind at ease that everything in AutoCrit is 100% safely AI assisted. And that means it is not actually going to generate content for your book over here on the left-hand side in any way. It will not write or rewrite for you, not even on a sentence rewording level, and it does not train on your work. If you saw our video here on the channel about Amazon KDP's AI generated book requirements, the disclosure requirements, then you know that the industry currently breaks AI tools into two categories. One for generated, where the system actually writes or rewrites work for you, or images or things like that, and AI assisted. AI assisted is going to be that editorial side where it is not actually generating anything like AI generated, but it will help you brainstorm, and it will catch things that you can then correct yourself. So AutoCrit falls in that AI assisted category. For the most part, here we are. So that is part of one of the reasons I use this tool. On the beat sheet level, it has told me before that I have missed beats or left the beats blank if I didn't have them. It has told me before that I have chapters that are out of order, right? That my inciting incident doesn't happen until chapter 14 and should happen earlier, in which case you can then drag and drop those chapters around in the chapters section up here in the top. You could just drag and drop things wherever you want them if they need to be in different orders. The analyzer can be run on an entire manuscript. The biggest book I've ever put through here is 257,000 words or 47 chapters long. It does not come with caps. So you do not have to worry about doing one chapter a day or using tokens or credits or paying extra. Your monthly or annual or lifetime pro membership covers unlimited access to this from day one. You can run your whole book series through here today without having to pay a dime extra, which is really nice, you guys. All right, so go over to the Market Fuel tab now. Market Fuel is AutoCrit's brand new, it is amazing market research tool, and I have loved it so much. I'm going to start with the section that made me love it so much, which is keywords. Keywords are search terms that readers use to find books, and we indie authors plug these keywords into our metadata. I have a tool called Publisher Rocket, which I adore and I use a ton, and I highly recommend it. And I will put it in the link to the description box for you, a video about it here on the channel. But my one thing with Publisher Rocket is it does not read your book and it doesn't give you suggestions for keywords. You have to come up with suggestions to research. And then Publisher Rocket will tell you how many searches that keyword is getting right now, how many people are buying based on that keyword. But where do you get the keywords? You're plucking them from the sky. AutoCrit has bridged that gap. And so now it reads your book and gives you a suggestion for niche keywords for your book, general broad keywords you could use. And now you have a list of keywords to plug into Publisher Rocket or use on your own. And it is so helpful. Now, remember that competitor keywords cannot be used on most retailers in your metadata, but they can be used for your ads. So on Amazon KDP, I can't use another author as a keyword in my metadata, but I could use them in Amazon ads. But this has saved me hours and hours and hours of time. It does give you different results every time you run it, more or less, unless things haven't changed much in that category. If you run it this morning, it's probably going to be the same tonight. But if you run it today and then you run it a month later, I have seen different results on my books, which is really nice too, because I have to update my keywords every 3 to 4 months. So this saves tons of time. If you're not sure what genre or category to put your piece in, this gives you that as well based on your content. And then if you're using Draft to Digital or another system that uses the standard industry BISACs or categories, it will give you those BISAC codes as well as a reason of why it thinks it needs to go in this category. In addition to this nice researchability in Market Fuel, there's also an overall market analysis that goes over your target audience and strengths and weaknesses for publishing this piece and ways you can go about putting this piece out right now to get it in front of the most readers. It gives you comp books that you can use as advertising opportunities. And then it gives you the ability to brainstorm front and back cover blurbs and titles. Now, this is not really meant to be copied and pasted as is. These are examples, and it's so educational because it tells you why it is choosing these examples, and it's giving you the style notes that you need to look for so that you can take this as a brainstorming idea and make it your own. Now, if you did copy and paste this into your blurb, which again, I don't recommend, I believe you would have to check the yes on the Amazon box about having AI generated content, because right now on that video that you could go see again, on the guidelines, it is saying that having it on the cover includes AI generated content. However, it does not count brainstorming as AI generated if you are writing your own stuff and you just use it to brainstorm. So that is what I recommend for you. This is not really designed to be copied and pasted in for you, and I recommend taking it and making it your own so that you're safely in that compliant category. But you do have these things here. And then finally, the market tool can give you ideas, again, not necessarily meant to be copied and pasted, but brainstorming tools for ad copy on Facebook, on Amazon, on socials, lead magnets you can use to get readers into your circle, hooks that you can use, key quotes and things to draw readers' attention. So in a nutshell, these are some of the core new features of AutoCrit going into 2025. We have that offline mode. We have the ability to save and share with other people who are also AutoCrit Pro members. We have the Market Fuel tab for market research and brainstorming. And then we also have the backwards blueprint to help us decide what we have written so we can do our developmental edits. If you have questions about AutoCrit, they have this little help bubble in the bottom right corner of the site that you can use to reach out, and they have a 100% human support team. They do not have bots manning any of their chats, so there's no bot sitting there sending you random scripts, which is really nice. Hit the help bubble. The team usually answers very, very quickly. You can also email AutoCrit directly. Please don't drop support-related questions here on the video because this is just my personal channel and I am talking to you guys writer to writer right now, not AutoCrit employee right now. But if you have questions about using AutoCrit in general as a writer, of course, feel free to drop those and drop your experience as well. We'd love to hear from you. Thanks so much, and I will see you guys on the next video.